We live in a world where trying to be safe can actually make us less safe. The more we prepare for threats, the more we seem to create them. But what if our biggest fears aren't even caused by our enemies? What if they're caused by us? What if, in trying to protect ourselves, we end up fueling the very danger we're afraid of? This is the paradox of security, the never-ending cycle of fear, power, and unintended consequences that has shaped history, from the Cold War to today's geopolitical chessboard. So, let's break down the hidden forces behind global conflicts and why the pursuit of safety often leads us straight to disaster. Alright, picture this. You start locking your doors at night, installing cameras, maybe even getting a guard dog. Feels secure, right? Now imagine your neighbor sees all this and thinks, wow, they must know something I don't, so they do the same. Then another neighbor sees both of you acting paranoid and decides to stock up on home security, maybe even a bunker. And before you know it, the whole street is one misunderstanding away from a full-blown neighborhood arms race. That, my friends, is the security dilemma, a classic case of I arm up because you armed up, and now we're both freaking out. This idea has been around since forever, but political philosophers like Thomas Hobbes first put it into words, saying that in a world with no referee, survival paranoia kicks in hard. Fast forward to the 20th century, and political scientists John Hertz and Robert Jervis realized that this applies to countries too. A nation might say it's just defending itself, but to its neighbors, that new missile system looks a lot like a just in case we want to attack setup. The Cold War was basically the security dilemma on steroids. The United States and Soviet Union stockpiled nukes like it was Black Friday, both convinced the other was seconds away from pressing the big red button. Neither wanted a war, but neither wanted to be the one caught unprepared, which led to close calls like the Cuban Missile Crisis, where the world hovered on the edge of whoops, there goes civilization. And this isn't just history, it's happening right now. Take India and Pakistan, who have been in a constant stare-down since 1947. Every time one tests a nuclear weapon, the other does too, turning deterrence into a game of who blinks first. Then there's Russia, whose love for buffer zones is deeply tied to geography. Its vast, open land makes invasions easy. Just ask Napoleon and Hitler. So it sees military expansion as defense, while everyone else sees it as aggression. Same story in the South China Sea, where China says it's just securing its territory, but the US and its allies see an excuse to beef up their own presence. Add alliances like NATO and AUKUS into the mix, and you've got a recipe for some serious international side-eye. Now, you might be thinking, can't we just, talk it out? And yeah, diplomacy can help. Treaties like START have reduced nukes, and the European Union turned former enemies into economic BFFs. But new tech is making things trickier. Cyber warfare? You won't even see the attack coming. Hypersonic missiles? Blink and they're at your doorstep. And space-based weapons? Great. Now we have to worry about orbital security dilemmas. So where does this leave us? Well, the security dilemma isn't going away anytime soon. With rising superpowers, shaky alliances, and new battlegrounds, hello Arctic disputes, managing security without triggering more paranoia will be the biggest challenge of the 21st century. Can world leaders break the cycle, or are we doomed to repeat history? I'll leave that for you to debate in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and I'll catch you in the next video.